welcome. I'm glad you could join me today. My name is Vera. I'm a health and wellness instructor from Stonebridge Community Services, and today I'm here at the Port Stanley Fitness Center with a gentle workout that focuses on core stability, joint strength, and today we're going to work on knees and hips. So I'm going to use a prop today. I have a ball. If you don't have a ball nearby, no worries. Grab yourself a pillow or a cushion. That'll work just as well. Let's start by lying on our backs. And we're going to lie on our back with the shoulders nice and wide. Hips are nice and even. Try to feel through the back of your hips. And we're going to start with range of motion for the knee. So let's lift one toe and let that foot slide all the way out. And now just imagine that there's a wall there and push, push, push that heel into the wall. You might feel a little opening through your rib cage. And then slide that heel all the way in as close to your bottom as you can. And then push it away and really lengthen. See how far you can go. Open up through that hip and then slide the heel in and press away. And one more time, slide in. And now just let that knee fall open to the side, but try to stay even through the back of your hips. And let that leg extend, and now the knee comes up to the ceiling. Slide the heel in. Stay even through the back of the hips as the knee falls out to the side. Reach out, and then that knee comes up to the ceiling. And now slide the heel in. Let that leg fall open to the side, and then press it out. And one more time in. Same thing on the other side. We're going to reach that leg right across the room. Imagine there's a wall there, and we're pushing that heel into the wall. Try to feel your hips open up. And then slide the heel in as close to your bottom as possible. See what kind of range of motion you can get through that knee. And then reach that heel all the way out. And then slide in. And reach away. And slide in, and now we're going to let that knee just fall open to the side, trying to stay even through the back of the hips. Reach the leg out, slide the heel in, the knee falls out to the side, reach out, pull in, one more time, out to the side, reach out, and pull in, perfect. And now we're going to place the ball or the cushion between the knees. And then we're going to engage the inner thigh. So just pressing the ball. And relax. And now when you push, imagine if you're pushing as hard as you possibly can, it's half of that. So about 50% of your maximum press. And relax. And squeeze. And now the reason that this exercise is really helpful for knees is that, and relax, the outside of our quad tends to be stronger than the inside, which can mess with the way that our patella, our kneecap moves up and down when we bend our knee. And so by trying to create and relax a little more strength in the inner thighs, we can sometimes improve the way that kneecap moves when we walk. And relax. Let's go two more. Squeeze. And relax. And one more time. Squeeze. And relax. Now we're going to add on to that. We're going to squeeze inner thighs. And we also want to squeeze glutes. So inner thighs, glutes. And relax. And now what I want you to notice as you squeeze is that your tailbone's staying nice and still. Sometimes when we're really hamstring dominant, when we squeeze glutes, we tilt our bottom up. So try to make sure everything stays still as you engage the inner thighs. Squeeze glutes and relax. Relax your neck and shoulder. Make sure you're holding no tension up here. All the energy's below your belly button, inner thighs, glutes. Relaxing that neck and shoulders. And relax. And again, squeeze inner thighs and glutes. And relax. Perfect. From here, we're going to extend one leg out. So let one leg just reach all the way out. And now tighten up that muscle, that quad muscle, and a gentle press into the ball. And tap down. And up. And that gentle squeeze into the ball. And down. Stay even through the back of the hips as you lift. And bend. And lift. And bend. Two more. Lift. And bend. And one more time. Straighten. And release. Perfect. Again, notice the back of your hips and try to stay level as you reach out the other leg. Low grade press on the ball and tap the heel down. And then straighten that leg out, tighten through the quads, reaching the heel and down. And 3, reach, engage those inner thighs and down. Just 2 more, extend and bend. And one more time, extend and bend. Perfect. And now keep the feet, walk the feet in towards your bottom. Let's bring the hands down to the side. Nice wide shoulders pressing into the mat as we press into the toes and squeeze the glutes and lift the hips for the bridge. And we're just going to hold it there, trying to stay nice and even through our shoulders as we keep breathing, engaging the inner thighs and holding onto that ball for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and down. Nice work. Now engage the inner thighs, squeeze glutes, let the hips come up towards the ceiling. Really excellent back exercise, really focusing on the glutes, but also squeezing the ball and working those muscles around the knee. And down. And we have 3 more. Squeeze glutes. You want to press into your toes, because if you push right into your heels, it's going to go right up those hamstrings. And notice whether you're even on your shoulders, so not putting more weight on one side than the other. And down. Let's go one more time. Squeeze glutes. And lifting those hips, holding it there for 4 and 3. Energy in the toes, 2. And lots of control to come down. Perfect. From here, we're going to let the knees float up. So knees up into the bent knee position. Let's let the arms come out to the side. And now we're going to let the knees fall to one side. So take a big breath in through the nose. Decompress the spine as you let the knees fall to one side. If you're going to your right, your left shoulder stays nice and heavy on the floor, and vice versa. Exhale, hold. Big breath in through the nose as we roll or rotate the hips to the other side. Exhale, hold. Nice flat shoulders as you hold here. Big breath in to roll through the hips. And exhale, hold. Even if you could roll far enough to put your knees down on the floor, you don't want to do that, because as soon as you set your knees down, that's when you're obliques stop working. So we really want to work those muscles. So just keep them floating in the air. But if it does bother you to have your knees in the air like this, just keep your feet on the floor and continue with that roll. You don't have to have your feet up. So whatever works for you. But just focusing on keeping those shoulders flat. Let's go one more time. Big breath in, up and over. Perfect. So either with the feet up or down, whatever works for you. Perfect. And back to the center. Nice job. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll over to our side. So just roll over so you're facing me. You can place that ball or pillow under your head for support. And then we're going to lengthen ourselves right out so that we're nice and long. And let's make sure we lengthen that top hip so you have a little lift through your lower part of your abs. We never want to just flatten ourselves on the floor. Everything over here is nice and strong. And then when you're ready, let's glue inner thighs together and heels and balls of the feet as we lift both feet up and hold it there. So really working those muscles between the ribs and the hips on our side. 4 and 3. Think how long you can be. 2 and down. Perfect. Let's do that one more time. You're going to engage those inner thighs. Heels, balls of the feet together as we lift from that area between our ribs and our hips, holding it there, creating length through our spine for 4 and 3 and 2 and relax. Perfect. From here we're going to keep that hip long as we lift the foot and press that heel all the way across the room. And now the goal here is to keep a nice straight spine as we lift that leg up, pressing into the heel and down. If I lifted that leg really high, you'd see that my spine has the bend to do that. You see that it falls down. What we want is a really still spine. We don't want to create any stress on our back. So it's just lifting high enough that we can without creating any change through our spine. 2. So really making the hips do the work. 3 and 4. Nice flat foot. You should be able to almost balance a book on it. 4 more. And 3 more. So kneecaps are facing forward. 2 more. And last one. Perfect. From here we're going to bend the knees. Try to keep the hips and belly button facing forward as we open and close. Really working those deep set of glutes as we open and close. And 3 and release. And 4 and release. So really good exercise for the hips here. 3 more, and 2 more, and very last one. Perfect. From here, we're just going to give that leg a little hug, and while we're holding that leg, just giving it a little rest, stretch that bottom leg right out. And now we're going to lower that top leg down behind. We want the hips and the belly button to be facing forward. And we're thinking of the inner thigh lifting that bottom leg up. Again, working those muscles of the inner thigh. And down. And 2. And down. If you need to put the foot down to relax between lifts, feel free to let that happen. But as it gets stronger, we want to be able to hover it above the mat. And let's go 3 more. And down. And 2 more. And down. And very last one. And relax. Well done. And now from here, we're going to roll over onto our belly. And we're just gonna prop ourselves up onto our elbow. I wanna work our hip in every different direction. So from here, we're just gonna open up through the front of the hips. So I'm gonna start by just squeezing an invisible tennis ball behind your knee. And when we're in this position, we're trying to pull our belly up away from the mat, so engaging the core. If you do cramp, just straighten the leg out, and then when you're ready, revisit it. If you want a little more intensity, you just pull your toes down towards the floor. So you decide where to work. And now let's press that hip on that bent leg a little bit into the mat. So just imagine getting a little heavier on the front of that hip. We really want to open up the front of the hips, because in a second we're going to do some hip extension. If we have a nice stretch here, it'll be a little easier and it won't pull on your back. And relax. Same thing on the other side. We're just going to stay even through the front of the hips as we bend the knee, and then try to squeeze that invisible tennis ball behind your knee, and then become a little heavier on that hip, and then think about lengthening that knee away from your shoulder. And if you want a little more intensity, pull your toes down towards the ground. Just keep breathing as you squeeze a little harder. And relax. Good job. From here, we're going to come right up to our hands and knees. And we're going to make a box. So our hands are directly under our shoulders. Our knees are directly under our hips. We want to engage the core, so imagine somebody's going to give you a little push and they can't push you over. And then let's extend that one leg right out. And now I want to work the back of the hip. It's really important to have those hip extensors working. It's one of the first ranges of motion we lose as we age. So let's just think about pointing the toe as we lift that leg up and down. And we don't want to lift high enough that we create any change in our back. So make sure you're just lifting to a point that feels comfortable and not stressful on your back. And down. And 3. And down. And let's go 3 more. And down. And 2 more. And down. And on the last one, we're going to hold it and see if we can unweight the other hand. So now just working those muscles around your back. Just holding it there for 4, and 3, and 2, and down. Good job. Let's go a little wider with the knees. And we're just going to try to keep a straight spine as we rock back and forth, just to get rid of all that tension in our back. So tailbone towards heels and up. 1 more. And then while we're here, let's come up and give our wrists a little break before we do the other side. And just the other way, little circles or a little shake, whatever feels right for you. And then when you're ready, come on down and make that box one more time. We've got one side to go. We're going to reach the other leg out. And then we're just going to point the toe and lift it up. And down. And 2. And down. Trying to keep that leg as straight as you can as you lift and lower. We've got 3 more. And down. 2 more. And down. And on the last one, we hold up and see if you can unweight the hand. If you can't, no worry. It might be a work in progress. And the hand comes down, the knee comes down. And just one more time, that little rock. 1 more. Perfect. And now we're going to bring our head all the way over to the other side of the mat. And then when you're ready, again, we're going to glue the heels and balls of the feet together. And remember, try to lengthen through that top hip and feel that little room for a little trail dance underneath. And now double leg lift, working those muscles around the hip as we lift and hold. So really important set of muscles. If we carry anything in one hand, like a shopping bag, we really need to have strong muscles of our side. This is where we tend to be a little weaker, and for someone with back problems, that could be an issue. And one more time, inner thighs glued together, heels, balls of the feet as we lift and hold. Relax the neck. 4 and 3 and 2 and down. Perfect. And now long waist as we lift, pressing into the heel, up and down. Knees facing forward if possible. 2 and down. Let that movement come from your hip and down. We've got 3 to go. Nice long leg, reaching it right across the room. Just 2 to go. And down. And very last one. Good job. And just gonna bring both knees into that bent position. Imagine there's a wall behind you. Your head, your bottom, and your feet are all against that invisible wall. Belly button, hips facing forward as we open the knee as far as we can without your body rolling. So try to keep your upper body really still and close. And 2 and relax. And 3 and relax. Just 3 more. Really working those muscles around that support the hip and the low back. And 1 more. Perfect. Let's give that leg a little squeeze. We're going to straighten that bottom leg out and lower that leg behind. We want this foot to be nice and flat as we lift from the inner thigh and down. Nice, slow, controlled movements, relaxing the neck and shoulders, keeping that leg as straight as you can. We just have 3 to go. 3 and relax. And 2 and relax. And very last 1 and down. Good job. From here, let's roll onto our backs. And we're going to bring one leg into our chest. Give it a big squeeze. And then straighten that leg out as much as you can, pulling the toes right to your nose. And with every exhale, we're going to try to straighten that leg just a wee bit more. It's never going to be perfect when you're hugging it in this tight, but you're really stretching that area or that hamstring right behind your knee, which is where we tend to hold more tension in our hamstrings. And when you're ready, we're going to let that leg just pop up. Little shake, loosen it up. And now we're going to make some circles. And the circles can be as small or as big as you like, as long as you can keep the back of your hips stable. And this exercise is all about just stirring that hip bone into the hip socket where all that synovial fluid is, which is like a little WD-40 for the hips. Let's pause and reverse. 3 and 2 and 1. Perfect. And now cross that leg over into a figure 4, just using the muscles to open up that hip. And you can stay right here and just hold the stretch, or you could fold that leg up if that feels okay for you. And just a couple deep breaths here to release any tension from your hips. And when you're ready, just lower down and unfold. Let's fold that other leg into the chest, give it a big squeeze, and now just straightening that leg out as much as you can. Nice, deep, deep, deep breathing. Try to find any tension, and when you do, just breathe into it. With every exhale, we try to straighten that leg just a wee bit more. Stretching should be to the point of stimulation, but there should never be any radiating pain, or it should never be a youch. So if it does hurt any of the exercises, make sure you don't do them. And then let's just let that leg pop up, give it a little shake. And now a nice long leg if you can, as we draw those invisible circles on the ceiling with our toes. Keeping the back of your hips as still as we can. And let's pause and reverse. Just 3 and 2 and 1. Perfect. We're going to cross over into a figure 4. Use the muscles to open up. Could also have a little assistance, but never push directly on the knees because we have tendons and ligaments in our knees that I don't want you to stretch. We want it to be all joint stretching and muscles, never tendons or ligaments. And then when you're ready, if you feel comfortable with it, fold that leg up. So I just wanted to thank you for joining me today. I really enjoyed having you, and I hope you enjoyed the workout. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week we're going to use flex bands or rubber bands. So if you have one, feel free to bring that along to class. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.